As a low-level account, it can be tough to find ways to earn GP, and especially when you just want to chill or focus in on the big grinds with your main account. So in this video, I'm going to show you 7 AFK ways to earn more GP on an early game account. Always, always, always check prices before dumping your whole cash jack into any of these methods, okay? First on the list is going to be baking potatoes. This is going to require 7 cooking, a range to cook on, and of course,
a few good taters.
Now, do keep in mind that if you're starting out at 7 cooking, you are going to burn quite a few potatoes, which is going to cut into the GP and the XP. However, you do stop burning them once you get to 41 cooking. The other thing that I would add is the GP on this method is maybe not the greatest, but it will be setting your account up pretty well because there's a lot of profitable fish that you can cook later on. Next on the list is going to be gold bracelets. These require 7 crafting, and I highly recommend using the Edgeville furnace, as it's very close to a bank. Don't forget your bracelet mold and of course all of your gold bars. This method is fantastic because you get a little bit under 100k an hour and the XP is great. The XP is great. For 50 seconds worth of AFK, you're basically doing nothing. I also want to give a quick shout out to all of the gem jewelry out there. While it is half the AFK time, you can get quite a bit of money and XP on these. The top 3 that I ran across when I tried were sapphire bracelets at 200k GP an hour, jade necklaces at 236k GP an hour, and emerald bracelets at 256k GP an hour. I mean, if you're okay with half the AFK time, some of these can get really profitable. Number 3 on the list is another crafting centric one, also a classic, spinning flax. All of us OG 07 players probably remember this one from back in the day. This requires 10 crafting, you have to spin them on a spinning wheel, but you can still earn 120k per hour doing this method, which is just insane. This thing has been around since the dawn of time, man. Okay, I'm excited for this next one. It does sport the highest requirements at 35 smithing, and you need the dwarf cannon quest done, but you get a whole 2 minutes and 40 seconds of AFK. If you haven't guessed at this point, it's cannonballs. This method is like the pinnacle of AFK. I mean, you click and you're never touching your screen again. That's about how AFK this thing is. And you can make a whopping 161k per hour. Now, the ammo mold that you need, you can actually double it, but it is gonna half the AFK time, but it's gonna double your GP an hour and XP per hour. The double ammo mold costs 2,000 points in the Giant's Foundry, which if you're at the minimum requirements for this, I mean, it's probably gonna take you a couple of hours to get that. So I don't know if it's worth it, but something for you to look into. I mean, 320k an hour is definitely nothing to scoff at. And you still would get over a minute of AFK. Golly, what? That's crazy, dude. Number 5 on the list is for all of you magic lovers out there, and that is gonna be enchanting jewelry. This is gonna require 7 magic, and I highly recommend a water staff. You might be wondering, what are we gonna be enchanting? Well, there's actually a lot of options, but the absolute most profitable one I ran into was the opal bracelet. Regardless of what you enchant, you're looking at almost 2 minutes worth of AFK. You just click once and your guy's gonna go through, he's gonna enchant literally everything in your inventory. Now, opal bracelets were bringing me in about 191k per hour. There were a few other good ones out there, but they were all a little bit less. Opal necklaces gave me about 172k per hour. Sapphire necklaces and sapphire rings both gave me about 135k an hour. And of course, you're always welcome to check the other enchanting spells, but I didn't have much luck with it myself. So I think sticking to the low level one is probably the way to go. Next up is one of my personal favorites, and that is making dart tips. It does require you to complete the tourist trap quest, which requires 10 fletching and 20 smithing in and of itself. But once that is done, making dart tips is gonna let you be AFK for over a minute, and bronze dart tips are really profitable at 210k per hour. Now, this quest will let you make dart tips for any bars that you want, so you could also look at iron and steel. With both of these, you're gonna make less GP an hour, but you are gonna be getting more XP an hour. And keep in mind, for steel dart tips, it's gonna require 34 smithing, so you're not gonna be able to do it right off the bat if you're coming fresh out of the quest. Last but certainly not least is gonna be making teleport tablets. This is gonna require 25 magic, and you're gonna wanna be on world 330, because this is the house party world. Now, the way that this one works is you're gonna take a little bit of cash, your stack of ruins, and noted soft clay. Once you've got all that, you make your way to Remington. There is an NPC in the general store who will help you unknown items for a tiny bit of GP. Once you got everything there, you're gonna find one of the open houses, and it needs to have a lectern. We're looking for this lectern because we're gonna start off with Varrock teleport tablets. Making tablets will let you be AFK for about a minute, and with the Varrock teleport tablets, I was getting up to 282k per hour. And this thing also gives you a pretty good amount of magic XP. Now, I was getting about 1,000 or so tablets an hour, and when you get up to level 40, you can actually think about doing house teleport tablets. These give slightly less XP, but I was making 320k per hour, which is pretty good. It's not even my house. Now, after a couple of hours of any of these methods, you've probably built up a pretty healthy cash stack. And if you want to know the best ways to spend it, I recommend you click this video here. I'll catch you there. There's just a dude back here lighting fires, and the editor doesn't do anything for this. Oh my god, come on, man. Trying to record a video here.